What's going on, guys? My name is BasedOnImpulse and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a deep dive on the code of the Siegebreaker for the Titan class and showcasing to you all why this is a subclass that you should be using. This subclass is one that I often hear people asking for buffs to, and while that would be nice, it's actually already a really solid subclass. Now, if you're looking for a crazy endgame build that will destroy raid bosses or make grandmasters trivial, this subclass isn't exactly built for that. What it is built for, though, is pretty much everything else in the game. Strikes, crucible, dungeons, and it can't even have a place in raids sometimes. This subclass has aspects that help it excel in almost every area of the game, except for, like your Grandmaster, Master level, Nightfalls, or Nightmare Hunts, that kind of stuff. This style of video is a little different than what I normally do, but if you guys do enjoy it, remember to drop a like and let me know what subclass tree you'd want to see me do in the next video. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's video, though, I do just want to give you guys a quick little update about where I've been and why I haven't been really uploading or streaming hardly at all for the past month or so. The main reason is that right now I'm really kind of lost on videos to make for Destiny. I have a couple ideas, including this one that you're watching right now, but it's been difficult for me to consistently come up with video ideas because of how dry on content Destiny is right now, or at least how dry it is for me. I don't want to make it sound like I'm giving up on the game. I've just been taking a little bit of a break and playing other things before I start really grinding hard on my prep for Beyond Light in the Day 1 raid. I've been playing Warframe a bit, as well as a lot of Among Us, just like everybody else. I was also working on getting a feel for my workload this semester of college to see how content creation could fit into that, and I think I'll be able to make it work well now. So if you guys have any video ideas or want to see videos on other games, let me know in the comments. I always read all the comments I get. Hell, I'm still reading comments on my prophecy video as they come in, and that video is about 2 months old now. Anyways, enough rambling. Sorry for not uploading as much. I really do want to start cranking out more content for you guys. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about this subclass. This whole subclass revolves around using your sunspots to keep getting your energy back for your abilities, which then lets you make more sunspots, and you just keep repeating that cycle. This comes in the form of your Sun Warrior buff. As you can see on screen, the Sun Warrior buff causes your grenade and melee to charge faster, reduces super energy consumption, and increases all damage that you do. This effect only lasts for 5 seconds, though you should be creating a lot of sunspots, so that shouldn't really be much of an issue. You can also increase this time with the right armor piece, but we'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. You can see on screen here a chart that shows how much Sun Warrior helps with reducing super energy consumption, or in layman terms, how it helps make your super last longer. Something else to note about this super energy consumption is that even if you pop your super with 1 second of the Sun Warrior buff left, you will still get the reduction for your entire super. That damage buff is actually a bit misleading because it only affects your weapon damage, so your super, grenade, and melee are not affected by the Sun Warrior damage buff. It is still very noticeable in your everyday gameplay though, as it stacks on top of perks like Rampage or Kill Clip. You can proc Sun Warrior by running through a sunspot, and the easiest way to create one is to use the Thermite Grenade and throw it into a crowd of trash ads. The Thermite Grenade is easily your best choice if you're wanting to run this specific tree for the Sunbreakers, mainly because I find it to be the most consistent grenade. Not only will getting kills with that grenade create a sunspot for you, it will also regen your health due to the perk Soul Invictus on your skill tree. This perk states that solar ability kills restore your health, and grenade or melee kills, as well as any kills while the Sun Warrior buff is active, will spawn a sunspot. The sunspot spawning with grenades and melee kills is pretty consistent and happens just about every time. However, I find it to be somewhat inconsistent with the Sun Warrior kills. I don't really know if it's a timer or a certain amount of kills, but it seems to be kind of inconsistent sometimes. Let's also here really quickly talk about your melee ability, which is called Mortar Blast. Hitting an enemy with this ability will proc a burn effect on them if you don't kill them in one shot, and also burn nearby enemies. Per the perk earlier, killing an enemy with this ability will create a sunspot. The radius for the burn effect is pretty small, but this gives you a great panic ability if you get swarmed by a bunch of trash ads. You punch one, it dies, gives you health back, and drops a sunspot, and then all the enemies around are stunned and burning as well, so they're all really easy to take out. This ability really is your get out of jail free card on this subclass, since it is a really easy way to quickly get a lot of health back and clear out any trash ads that might be giving you a headache. Moving on to your super, your hammers will also create sunspots, and standing in a sunspot while your super is active will make you throw hammers faster. You will still be able to get the Sun Warrior buff while in your super, which will decrease your super energy consumption. If you're standing on the ground when you activate your super, it will drop a sunspot where you activated the ability. So you can pop your super and and just stand still for permanent Sun Warrior for your entire super. Here on screen you can see a side-by-side comparison of what throwing hammers on this subclass looks like with and without standing in a Sunspot. So now that we've talked about how the subclass works and the core bits and pieces of it and how everything works together, let's talk how you can enhance this with exotics. This subclass is built for ad control, but it can actually have some support capabilities if you run the Phoenix CRADLE exotic leg armor. This exotic makes your Sun Warrior perk last twice as long and also grants your fire team the Sun Warrior buff if they run through a Sunspot. Unfortunately, the doubled time only applies to you and not your fire team members, which I think is still something they need to change about this exotic. I think everybody that gets the buff should have 10 seconds, but it's still a solid exotic to run. Since you'll be creating so many sunspots, especially with the doubled time on Sun Warrior, your teammate should have plenty of chances to refresh that buff. So it's not too much of a headache, but I still think everybody should get that 10 seconds. If you want to focus on just being an ability spamming ad clearing monster though, you're going to want to run the HALLOWFIRE Heart exotic chest piece. This exotic improves the recharge rate of solar abilities and greatly increases the charge rate while your super is charged. Combined with the perks on the subclass to give you ability recharge, this exotic will give you really good ability recharge time. I was doing some testing in Tribute Hall to compare ability recharge times between these exotics, and at the end of the day, it kind of just depends on your playstyle with which one you should gravitate towards more. Honestly, showing the gameplay of the testing really isn't even worth you guys' time, since the differences are honestly milliseconds. It was really even hard for me to tell, looking at the footage, what the differences were. It's very, very tight. Not even really worth putting in the video, if I'm being honest. If you want to spam your super a lot, I suggest going with Phoenix CRADLE. HALLOWFIRE Heart's recharge rate without having your super charged is fairly equivalent to Phoenix CRADLE's 10 seconds of Sun Warrior. Since you have double the amount of time of Sun Warrior, that means you can have double the amount of time to create a new Sunspot. Phoenix CRADLE is best for keeping Sun Warrior active at all times, while HALLOWFIRE Heart excels at giving you a lot of grenade and ability spam while giving up your super. That's not to say you can never use your super, but holding on to it for as long as possible will get you the most benefits out of HALLOWFIRE Heart. As for an exotic weapon, I think the clear frontrunner here is the Monte Carlo exotic auto rifle. Monte Carlo's exotic perk is Monte Carlo Method, which states that dealing damage with this weapon reduces your melee cooldown and grants a chance to fully charge your melee ability with each kill. This perk makes the ability recharge sound like it's pretty random, but it's actually almost guaranteed. I've been using a Monte Carlo and Phoenix CRADLE build in the gameplay for this video, so just kind of keep an eye on that for my melee ability and you'll see that it's up pretty much all the time. This weapon also synergizes really well with your melee ability due to its perk Markov Chain, which is essentially Grave Robber and pre-nerf Swashbuckler wrapped up all pretty with a bow and put under your Christmas tree. Getting a kill with Mortar Blast will refill Monte Carlo's magazine, give you ×5 Markov Chain, and create a Sunspot, which allows you to activate Sun Warrior. Since Monte Carlo uses pre-nerf Swashbuckler values, ×5 Markov Chain will give you a 65% damage increase. Top that off with Sun Warrior and you've got a whopping 85% damage increase on your Monte Carlo compared to the base damage. This is above and beyond your best choice of exotic weapon to pair with this subclass tree, and I really don't think it's close. Personally, I believe in this situation, paired with Monte Carlo, Phoenix CRADLE is the better choice, but like I said earlier, it really depends on your playstyle. And that, guys, is today's deep dive on the Titan's Code of the Siegebreaker. I hope you guys enjoyed this different style of video, and if you did, be sure to leave a positive rating down below. Also, let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future on other subclasses, and if so, what subclasses would you guys like to see me do? I'm hoping to get another video out later this week. That'll most likely be a guide showing you guys the best ways to prepare yourselves going into Beyond Light. Remember that you can always find me on Twitter or in my Discord server, and I also do stream on Twitch from time to time, so make sure to check out all those links in the description down below. Something else I want to mention here at the end is that now that Destiny's expansions are on the Xbox Game Pass, I want to start trying to help out some of you Xbox guys a little bit more. I'll be sure to tell you guys when I can, once I get my subscriptions and all that squared away. Maybe we can even do some days on Twitch that are specifically for helping out you guys on Xbox. If that's something that you all would be interested in, or if you're a PC player that needs some help, definitely be sure to join the Discord server. That's where all that stuff is going to be going down. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Remember to leave a positive rating on the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel, especially since we're trying to get back into the swing of things with posting videos. I appreciate all you awesome people, and I'll see all of you in the next video.